Hello, everybody, and welcome to Respawn Rundown episode 4. We're back in the studio.
Finally.
We're back.
Too long.
Yes, it's been too long. Like 2 weeks. We had to do
2 weeks.
2 weeks. We had to do online episodes. It wasn't great. OBS kept bugging out on us. It was a little bit of a process, but hey, we're back. We're here to talk about last weekend's results in the Major 2 qualifiers and then Major 2 coming up this week. And there's been some big news regarding, ROSTERMANIA specifically for Optic right now.
ROSTERMANIA right before Major 2 is crazy.
Yeah. And then we had one or two good series last weekend. Yeah. Not a lot of whole quality COD. I mean, LA Thieves still just absolute dominance in the field, but we're going to get into that today, and let's get into it.
Yeah. First thing, Optic finally gets a win.
Finally gets a win. I was thinking, right, because before we before we started this playing LAG the other day, I was like adamant that we had to win this one. Yeah. This one was really the tell-all of where this team really was in that situation. Because I mean, LAG is literally bottom tier. I mean, everybody and their grandma can beat Falcons at this point.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was the true tell-all at that point of where LAG sits and where we're sitting.
Honestly, I think Falcons are starting to look a little better in the respawns against versus LAG.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're still not winning, but
I mean, like, it's insane though. Like those guys almost closed out a series this weekend.
Yeah.
Like almost had it. They can't finish it off.
I think they're also, because again, the ROSTERMANIA and coaches and stuff like that, I think Vegas might be pulling the plug on their experiment.
I was hearing that.
Yeah.
Apparently, Falcons might be pulling the plug on their Saudi players, leaving only Exnid. Because he was frying. So Exnid was frying. They just got rid of their head coach too. So now Clay is the number one man.
And so you build that around some challenger players, and maybe you have a scrappy team.
Yeah, you could build a solid challenger squad.
I don't think you're gonna win a tournament or anything.
Yeah, I mean, like it'd
be an insane storyline.
It's been such a rough ride for that team all the way throughout Major 1 to Minor 2 to Major 2 qualifiers now. Like they just haven't been able to get anything done. So, and like that head coach before he got dropped the other day, I mean, I thought it was so odd how he was just flipping players in and out, like trying to fill the spot, but there just wasn't a spot to fill because none of those 4 players like could play to the level of any of the guys that are even mid-pack.
Yeah.
Or literally any team in the scene right now.
Yep.
So.
And, with Optic's win, it was like, oh, finally they got one. And I was thinking, all right, this is some good momentum going into their home tournament. Finally getting a win. They needed to photosynthesize.
They needed to photosynthesize during the match. The windows, no windows in the room was the problem.
That was it.
And then the sun hit Pred in the eyelids, and he just started morphing.
And then the news last night / yesterday.
Yeah. Kenny
dropped
from Optic.
Complete, not benched. Dropped.
It's tough because I mean Kenny in general, at least in this game in Black Ops 6, has just not played well.
I think the Thief series was like oh wow, this is where that's at, really?
Yeah, like Kenny was not playing this game well at all.
The 3rd worst KD of all time and the worst in CDL history, I believe.
Yeah.
But so they're dropping him and picking up Caesar Skies from the LAG bench.
This one could be interesting.
I don't like this move.
I don't think it's the greatest move either.
I don't even like this from just a standpoint of going into this major, now you're going into the major and losers bracket against either Minnesota or FaZe with a new roster that I don't think is going to work, and I feel like change is going to happen anyways afterwards. This just makes this more awkward.
It was a very strange time to do the change because as if we haven't been like 0-24 or 0-21 going into that LAG series or whatever it was.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
It is an interesting move for sure. I think Skies is a person. He brings the vibes. Like, you always see the dude smiling. Like, I bet you if anything, he brings the vibes of that team back a little bit, you know, tries to get them going, try to get some energy in them because, if you've seen any of their listen-ins or just watch their face cams during the matches, like they all look like they're discouraged. And I hope that Caesar can bring some vibes because the dude's a vibe
I
in
still
general.
think that there's going to be more change coming to the team. I think they get bounced and they have to really look in the mirror and go, okay, what is this going to... Because I don't like this move. There's no, like, it feels almost... Because now Kenny has to go out there, collect his ring, you know?
Yeah, collect his ring.
And then walk off.
Yeah, walk home.
So there's that. There's the fact that I think Caesar Sky and Dashy play too similar for it to work. I think it's going to be colliding. And I feel like you're going to make a change anyways, even afterwards. I just don't like... And
it is for sure just, like I said, strange time to do it.
Also, you finally get a win, and that's when you blow it up?
Yeah, like just
after weeks of saying, trust the process.
Yeah, and I commend them for trying to stick it out. Like, they obviously, you could tell those 4 players wanted to play together, and they wanted to be a team. Obviously, they won champs. Like, you want to stick together with that team that you won with, but it just wasn't meshing, wasn't working. So a little bit late to pull a move, but a move was needed either way. And I'm hoping that Caesar can at least bring some vibes, just to at least brighten them up a little bit. They need a little spirit in them,
and they're going into a little spirit into their home major is going to be a good thing.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure.
But yeah, let's.
That's just.
That was pretty much the weekend.
That's pretty much been the whole weekend.
Like, I watched most of the matches.
There really was.
There was some. There was one Friday where Vancouver totally trolled the search against Ultra by going B, and I just gotta say we gotta get Vault out. I don't know how we can sit there and say we want the most competitive thing for the game and for.
Are you talking about the Vault where it was literally like
they
9 A plants in a row?
9 A plants, and then Vancouver went B completely,
and then just got wiped.
And then because they went B, lost the entire map. It was neck and neck up until that point, but. Yeah, and it ended up being like not only the thing that cost them the map, but the thing that cost them the series, because they lost 3-2. But it just, I don't get that map. They sit, competitive players sit there day in, day out, say they want the best for the competitive scene, and they allow a map like that in. It's just not a good map. Like, it's not a good map in hardpoint because the spawns just break down way too easy and flip for no reasons. A
lot of split spawns on that map.
It freaks out. The search, we're seeing plants at pretty much a 98%
every time. Playing it on A, they can't hit through that little invisible wall next to the fucking thing.
And then the control just gets really messy because if you don't either slam and put them in a spawn trap point, or you get the win.
Yeah.
It's just a coin flip at that point, and so it's not a competitive map, and especially because they took out Rewind.
Out of any of the maps, Rewind was probably the one I would have kept in there. And a lot of people were saying that before they took it out. Like, why are we taking out Rewind?
Yeah, why are we taking
what?
out the map that's actually, and just, not. But yeah, so there's that. But yeah, again, there wasn't a ton of matches that were very good. And our seeding for the bracket kind of really didn't change all that much. But yeah, I'm excited for this major.
I am very excited for the major. I mean, I love to watch land COD. I mean, land COD's the best COD to watch,
especially in Texas.
Yeah, I mean the
crowd gets into
the crowd gets insane. The green wall always brings the energy. I mean, it's gonna be a really fun major to watch. I mean, it's at the same place they did champs last year, but I mean, apparently it's not gonna have the same stage setup where they're like facing each other. It's gonna be like the
okay, yeah,
horizontal
I didn't see
offset
that. Yeah.
one. But I mean, dude,
I would have loved the champ, like just in champs environment, the same thing.
Yeah, the facing each other like majors where they have the desks just straight up facing each other. That shit, I love it.
I love when they have the desks facing each other. I love when they they're
low key. I thought that major last year that they did with no fans was actually kind of cool. I thought that they should do that just for like their normal matches always.
I agree. Like, I don't know how you get that because, again, you have to have all the teams in the same place.
Yeah.
Most of them already are, but there are some that would have to travel for that or move facilities. Yeah. But for, like, I thought, the no fans event that they always seem to have every year, it's interesting because, as fans, we want to be there, and that's what makes LAN. But the only thing I didn't like was the for the final they locked the teams in a cage for it. That was so cringe. And then afterwards, they just took it down. Yeah. Because obviously the players have to get up and go talk with their coaches and stuff like that. But
I mean, I think
I thought it was
honestly, I was asking myself this the other day. I don't know how the league itself doesn't have more involvement what's actually going on with the game.
Well, yeah, they're making...
It's so odd. Dude, the NFL, they're in charge of anything that goes down on that football field. NBA, in charge of anything that goes down on that court.
They don't want to pay it.
The CDL is ran by the players and the community. The CDL most of the time doesn't even seem like it's actually a product. It seems like it's literally just community hosted things all the time. And it's so weird. I wish the CDL itself, the CDL or company, whatever, I wish they would take more control of the scene and everything. And obviously if it's a bunch of suits that have no fucking clue what they're talking about, then obviously let those guys fucking stack bills off of the backs of everybody else. But
so we don't
as far as the league stepping in and saying, hey, you guys are tripping and we need to bring back snipers, that kind of thing.
We need some
there needs to be some kind of direction.
They need to be more open to sharing the cost of hosting majors, so we can see majors in other cities than Miami, Texas, over in Madrid, which was kind of cool. But there's Major 3 is in Miami, and yes, the Madrid one was technically a Toronto hosted one, which of course Toronto's hosting champs this year. Mm-hmm. So Major 4 is in Texas again. It's not an Optic hosted one, but again, I feel like I wish some of these other teams, because it's a catch-22, right? It's one of those things where it's I wish the league would be hey, LA, you host one.
Yeah.
But obviously it comes down to LA,
I don't know. The league just doesn't seem like it has a finger on anything.
Home series from the Modern Warfare season, the home series that they would do, because there was places like Atlanta or LAG, those guys were hosting.
Yeah. But I wish the league would step in and try and give this shit more direction, because as long as it's gonna be run by pretty much the players and the community, there's always just going to be these arguments and fights going on over literally any changes, GAs, anything that happens.
Yeah.
There's just always going to be arguments because there's going to be no bottom line of, hey, this is what's happening and this is how it's going to be. It's just a constant back and forth between the community, the players and the teams. Like it doesn't, I don't know. I wish the league had a little more direction behind it, but I mean, the CDL, all they really want to do is their production shit and then forget about it. So
yeah. But, you know, with that in mind, we do have a major this week.
We do.
We
Back in Texas, baby.
Back
you know what it is.
Texas.
Green wall. Green wall. Green wall. Green wall.
I just thought of it earlier, but, you know, at least there's that. But this delusional optic fan over here thinking they're going to go for a wall.
Whoa.
Go for a run. Losers. All right, so starting off on Thursday, did anyone check the crumble? Did anyone check?
What's this week?
I saw like a mint Oreo thing.
Mint Oreo.
Yeah, like a mint Oreo cookie.
I mean, he said in the interview that he doesn't eat crumble cookie as much as people like to say he does.
I don't believe him.
I don't believe him at all. That blood sugar seems like it's spiking every time it gets on the sticks.
I don't believe him. No, not at all.
That blood sugar.
Because when that crumble hit, and so do the Ravens, but they have to go against the Vancouver Surge, and we're gonna see Neptune for the first time on land.
Yeah.
What do you think that's gonna play out like? Because that's the biggest question mark Vancouver essentially had for this is, hey, can that translate over? That's always the question with online to LAN is, can what you're taking online and can you put it in a LAN environment?
If we look at, it was Minor 2. I mean, they made the run all the way to play LA Thieves in the final. Mm-hmm. And then after that, throughout this stage, they've looked not as great as they did in Minor 2. I mean, in Minor 2, they looked phenomenal.
But again, I think that's a map pool problem.
Yeah.
You know, we've discussed before how they have a similar map set to LAT, but they're just not as good. Mm. That's the thing. LAT's map pool is not like overly, large, but they also you can't play them on those maps.
You can't play them on those maps.
They become auto vetoes against Thieves. That's the difference. They're not auto vetoes against Surge.
All Thieves are doing at this point is working their map pool.
And that's the thing. They're getting better. They're playing maps. I didn't really even see a lot of Red Car S&D, which was their main S&D that they built this run off of. But now they're winning Skylines. Now they're winning protocols and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's interesting because now they're expanding their map pool, and I just haven't seen the same thing from Vancouver.
Yeah.
I was tunnel visioning on the fact that the loser of this has to go play Vegas in the next round in losers.
Yeah. And then they get the
bunny round.
They get the money round. They get their free win in losers. But what other matches we got?
So Vancouver, Royal Ravens, Toronto, Cloud9, Thieves, Boston, and then FaZe Rocker to close us out of Thursday.
For sure.
Yeah. Again,
the Toronto Cloud9 game could be pretty interesting, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both middle of the pack teams. So, I mean, I think Toronto in terms of who I think is taking this, I think Cloud9. I mean, as of recently, they've looked a little bit better. But I think
Toronto just plays well better on the LAN environment.
Yeah.
In this situation. I don't know it.
Who knows? But who knows until we really get there? But
I could see C9 blitzing the respawns. And just taking it 3-1 and just completely ignoring the search and destroy. Because the coin flip series, I think we talked about it before, but this is going to be the tournament that a lot of teams make their, make it or break it.
Yeah, this is like the stage where teams are getting to their final forms. Like this is the point where teams need to start finding their final form for the rest of the season, and then perform for the rest of the season. Because as of right now, Optic fucking so far behind, and there's quite a few teams that if they can get into their final form and play well for the rest of the season, like they could get themselves up into spots on the board that they probably haven't seen before this season.
Yeah. And but again, a good run from a lot of these teams will do wonders for them long term, and answer a lot of questions like, hey, can this roster compete long term, or do we need to make a change now? Which again, we've talked about the fact that you make a change now, you only have a week to test it out.
Yeah, dude, Optic makes that change for Kenny for Skies, and now we have 2 days now to scrim with Caesar, and then straight into the major. So
it's funny how, because some people have been looking online, theorizing. So we see Hex, watch the series, then he gets on his phone, clearly texts someone, allegedly, and then walks off and has to do something. And then we see Caesar shut down his watch party after that match, and then proceeds to not watch party the next day. And then on top of that, Kenny just looks like, even after the win, doesn't look like he got anything out of it.
Kenny has absolutely no spark in him right now.
He looks like he didn't get anything out of that win, like he knew something. And maybe this was the information that hey, you're going to play this match because, Skies isn't here and he hasn't warmed up or anything. And we haven't announced anything. But this is your, swan song. If he did, I'm glad he went out with a win.
Yeah, it's a good way to go out. Especially in that situation that we were in. A win against LAG, at least for us right now, we needed that really, really, really badly.
I was going to say, there was nothing I remember watching the LAT versus Optic series. I was like, they, starting off good on the respawn, the map 1. Yeah. And I was like, oh no, they found their bullshit right against us. Oh no. And then eventually it was like, oh, okay, never mind. They're bad. This is... Yeah,
it's been so tough for them as a team right now. And obviously the whole community is just pointing and laughing right now. But they would be pointing and laughing, if we were in the same spot we were last year.
Oh, absolutely.
It's literally just because it's Optic and they're at the bottom right now that people are pointing and laughing.
Actually, I think it'd be interesting because then your 4 would be FaZe, Thieves, Optic, and probably Ultra, Vancouver. That's 5 or 6 teams. Yeah. That's at least, we could see making a Sunday, and that would be interesting. Yeah, so I hope they get back to that form for sure.
And the league hasn't had, teams that, the team hasn't had, anything but, a top 4 for a while.
Yeah.
There's been top 4 teams, and that's about it. That's only notable.
That's honestly how I felt it's been since Vanguard, because Vanguard was such a competitive mixy game that there was the London Royal Ravens made champs Sunday at one point. Mm-hmm. That was mind blowing. But you don't see that now. No. You see the typical.
You don't ever see just these random teams from bottom middle pack just make a run out of nowhere.
But yeah, I'm taking Ultra in that one.
Give me Cloud9.
Yeah.
Give me those fellows. I like
Who are you taking the Carolina Vancouver one? Guess what I didn't say either, but yeah, we talked about it. But yeah, give me Ravens. Yeah, I think it'll be an upset.
I'll take Vancouver.
And again,
I mean, they've looked pretty decent. I mean, in their last couple of matches, I think did they struggle a couple in their last matches?
No, that's the Ultra one was the only one that they really didn't look the greatest. But again, that might have been
in general, I think they're more consistent.
Like these
their system just works really well for them. Those 4 players on Vancouver just mesh really well.
These middle of the pack teams, I think at any given day they could beat each other.
Yeah,
I think that is just what it is. But yeah, give me Carolina at least just because I haven't seen what this Vancouver team can do on land. I could be completely wrong and it's going to translate completely the same. But until I see that, I don't, this is the classic online, going to land, don't perform as well. And this is also where Carolina looks better, is on a land environment. So I'm not having them win the tournament by any means, but
I could see him make a little run through.
I could see him making another top 3, top 4 run, which would be good. And then we got LAT versus Boston, third match of the day.
So LAT is still going to be undefeated after Thursday.
Yep. Like they have 2, like their hard point, right? They have 2 maps that they are not 100% or 80% at. That's where they're at. So they're 5-4 at Hacienda, which is 55%, and then Vol, which they're 4-3. They still have a winning record on those. So that's the difference. Which is, I thought Protocol was like their one that they were avoiding because they had problems, but they're 3-0 on it. They're starting Red Card, they're 4-0. Skyline, they're 4-1. And they're playing against Boston, who doesn't have a good win percentage in that at all either.
Yeah.
So, and
I mean, it's give me Thieves 3-0. I don't even have much to say about that series.
It's probably gonna be the most boring one of the day, honestly.
Horrible matchup.
And then the last match on Thursday, we have Minnesota Rocker versus Atlanta FaZe, a one we saw in the online qualifiers, and I think it's going to be the same results.
Yeah.
I don't see...
Minnesota is just not great. They just can't finish off a middle-of-the-pack team. Then, for that matter, can't finish off a top-of-the-pack team. I mean, they struggle. Give me FaZe. I don't think that unless they come out on their bullshit Minnesota, I don't see this going far at all.
Yep. So that will wrap up Thursday.
Yeah.
Going to Friday, losers round 1. We'll have the Miami Heretics and hypothetically playing the Boston Breach.
Yeah. Give me Heretics.
Heretics again. I think they were looking 50-50, but I think they'll find form against Boston. Though we did see Boston beat them online.
Yeah.
That's the interesting thing. If that didn't happen, Miami's on a losing run. I'm gonna take a risk. I'm gonna say Boston. I'm gonna say Boston makes it out of.
Give me the Spaniards.
I think that
it's my goal.
That's the thing. I would rather have Miami win, but give me Boston just because. I hate
Vamos
this pick.
Heretics.
I'm changing my mind again. I'm flip flopping.
Vamos Heretics.
I'm going Vamos as well.
Yeah. I don't think.
I think they also get that land buff.
Boston plays.
I flipped back and forth on that pick, but yeah.
Boston plays LA. They instantly get 3-0'd. Morale gone.
Yeah.
Bang bang.
Yeah. And congrats to either the Royal Ravens or Surge, because you get to play Vegas Falcons in losers round 1.
Yay! You get a free win.
Here you get a free.
Here's
win.
your sticker.
Here's a star sticker.
Here's your cookie. You get your free win.
And then third match of the day, we're moving quick on this Friday, will be Optic versus Atlanta FaZe or Minnesota Rocker. Minnesota versus the new Optic. If is what we picked. Give me the green wall. If you do make it out of there, that is, that's tough. So,
but yeah, give me the green wall if we make it.
If they make it,
Come on, we need the drums. We need the green wall.
Get the drums out.
We need the green wall to be there.
Buff.
Come on, boys.
No photosynthesis, unfortunately.
Lock it in.
No light.
No, we need to put a grow light over pred. Like,
Yeah,
like the lizard vitamin light. We just need to put it over pred.
Yeah, actually, that would work. Yeah, that'd be fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah, pred, how you think about that one? The spotlight that's gonna be on you during, like, when you walk out and stuff is just gonna be a vitamin light for a lizard.
Vitamin light, yeah. Give me Minnesota. He's gone. All right. For the second time, I'm hosting this. No computers were shut off in the making of this podcast.
They didn't even get to see that one. They didn't even get to see that one because OBS went stupid on us. But hey, they're
like, really,
y'all missed the episode that we recorded. Yeah, I mean, I gotta say it just because we've been saying it on here, and we haven't even like they never got even to see it. But we recorded an episode on OBS the other week while we were at our doing the virtual, and jokingly I kicked back in my chair and I was just gonna fall backwards, and then I kicked the fuck out of my desk. And my entire PC just reboots. Blue screen, and it just says restarting.
And I didn't see any of it. I was on a different tab. So.
Yeah, it was good. My foot still hurts.
I was gonna say, how we doing?
Yeah, my foot still hurts because of that.
Update.
But yeah.
Going into. Yeah, so then the last match of the day would be the Los Angeles Gorilla Mates versus either Toronto Ultra or Cloud9. I think whoever is in that one, give me them over LA.
Give me them over LA.
Yeah.
100%. LAG.
I said Toronto, you said Cloud9. So
LAG has been on Blow It Up Watch. Yeah. They have been on Blow It Up Watch. So
then we have... The Saturday gets a little. This is where we don't,
Yeah, we don't really know. So yeah, it's kind of difficult to do these episodes when a major is coming up
because we
don't have the matches. I mean, they obviously it's a bracket, so they have to fill out.
We have to fill it out. But okay, so pretty basic. Who you have in your winners, and who do you have in the final? I think winners, we're going to see FaZe and Thieves.
I could see a FaZe and Thieves winners, yeah.
I think either coming from losers bracket, I could see Cloud9, Carolina, or Toronto Ultra making a run in the losers bracket.
Yeah.
But long term, and I hate to do this, but potentially I see for a final a rematch of Major 1.
Yeah.
There hasn't been anything to indicate, hey, maybe Vancouver beats FaZe for the third time. That could honestly happen. I think
it could happen.
And I think, obviously I took
you never know.
I took Thieves in the Major 1, and we were one round away. One. Why did Paco hit underground?
I watched that episode last night of the documentary series they have on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
I watched that last night, and yeah, Ghosty I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, Ghosty.
He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. This weekend,
he's gonna get it.
He's gonna get his major win. He couldn't do it with Optic.
Ghosty, you are you're God.
You're gonna get it.
You're gonna get it, man. If there's any people that believe in you, it's an Optic fan and one of your fans.
Yeah.
So.
Like we got you.
We got you. We got you, Dan Ghosty.
Man,
you ain't never gonna see this shit, but we got you, Dan.
That was the thing when Optic played Thieves in Modern Warfare 2 for the Major 4 like final. I was so torn because I wanted Dan Ghosty to get that win, to get that major win, especially after like just being right there against Toronto Ultra the major before.
Yeah.
But it just didn't. You know, I was happy for the Thieves win, obviously, especially because that was the last win of that roster, that championship roster. But, you know, long term, it worked out. You're gonna get this. You're gonna get a win. Yeah. Give me Thieves. Give me Thieves in 5.
I'm gonna say the final. Yeah, I'll go.
I'll say
if FaZe gets put out, I think Vancouver makes it again, and then we get a rematch of it again.
Rematch on the major.
I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, I would like that too.
If not, then yeah, I could see a FaZe Thieves final.
Ideally,
I hope that Thieves, if they do make it to the final against FaZe, close that shit out on LAN against those guys.
Don't let them win again.
Do not let them. Please. Like, you cannot let them take that first map. You can't.
Yeah. Well, okay, that's the thing. They're better on search. Because last time those two squared up, it was that, like, oh, they have to win the respawns because the search wasn't going to happen. So maybe,
I don't know.
Dirty Neslo.
I mean, yeah. Either way, there's a Neslo angle that could go with that one. I mean,
ideally, my finals is.
I mean, that's just like the most perfect COD matchup you could ask for.
In a perfect world, I want Thieves and Ultra. So then Thieves win, and it's a revenge against the.
The org that,
Hoodie org beef, which was comedy over the offseason, plus Scrap and Envoy getting a win against their former team.
Yeah.
We get Joe to Sieves frying on the main stage on a Sunday. So that's what I want. What we're actually going to get is a 1 in 3 chance. But either way, give me Thieves in 5. That's my prediction for this week. And
give me Thieves in. We're going to map 7. It's going all the way.
Map 7, Skyline Surge. Paco hits underground and gets a 4-piece.
Oh my god! He did it.
But yeah.
He's pulling his cock out.
That has been another successful episode
of Respawn Run Down episode 4. We're back in the studio. You knew what it was.
You know what? We're back.
We're back in the studio. Hopefully,
good weather for now.
Yeah, hopefully for the rest of the season we can be back in the studio.
Yep. Take advantage of that.
Yeah. But anyways, looking forward to Major 2 this weekend. We got some interesting stuff going on in the league this week, obviously, and I mean, just a bunch of cool stuff before we get into Major 2.
Yeah. Make sure you hit that subscribe.
Hit that subscribe and the bell. Do all that YouTube shiz.
You already know. And GG go next.
GG go next. Thank you for watching.